People who come to Dharma centers are seeking something more than their lives, what they have, seeking more than what they've been doing, or they know there's more, and they're looking for a place to find more. And the general consensus that people go to Dharma centers to find peace and harmony and higher thought, better ethics, better than what they've experienced in their normal lives. That is a general consensus. But a deep down yearning is that they know there's something much, much more. So when we come to a Dharma center of any tradition, there are certain time-tested procedures that may seem rigid, that may seem foreign, or they may seem strange. But instead of being very harsh in our thinking and criticism, we can also think that, well, there is a group of people doing this, there is a system, there is a set way, so if I'm involved here, let me just try it out and see how it works. I mean, as long as they don't involve you drawing blood from you or cut your fingers off or something like that, then it should be all right. So therefore, since we're learning Dharma here, somewhat in the Tibetan tradition, then I can only share with you the Tibetan tradition of doing systematized traditional ways to make offerings, to request teachings, to attend teachings, dedications, and prayers. I can only teach you that. I can't teach you any other way. And I am by no means telling you that that's the best way, or the only way, or the way. I'm just telling you that's one of the ways, and since we're involved with that, it's harmless. How we wish to express or request teachings, each tradition has. But I don't know all the other traditions. I know one. The other ones I know a little bit. So I can only explain that. So Buddhism, as it was during Buddha's time, operates on the basis that we do not teach unless requested. We do not force unless the person is willing. And we do not use all types of methods to force, to make, and to wrongly tempt people into Dharma practice. Because the basic belief is, if they don't have the karmic affinity, even if they enter, they're not really practicing Dharma. And it could even be detrimental. So therefore, it goes on the basis where Lord Buddha has started out, which is to only teach when requested. Now it forms a dilemma. And what's the dilemma? The dilemma is during Buddha's time, before Buddha started speaking, nobody knew what to ask. Nobody knew what to request. Nobody knew what to ask or what to say or what questions. They didn't even know they're suffering. Nothing. So that was the dilemma. So therefore, following along the principles of all past Buddhas, where it cannot be taught unless requested, then the Buddha emanated into the audience. He had students that were part of him that would request the appropriate teachings, do the prostrations, make the appropriate offerings to set an example to others. Now, a mendicant monk like Lord Buddha, who lived in the forest and lived except during the rainy season, who wandered, who begged for his food, who kept no possessions except a few monk items that he had, what would he want with offerings? Why would he want to emanate as a student who made offerings to him to show that other people should make offerings to him? And even when Buddha got the offerings, he gave it away immediately. So it's definitely something that benefits the requester and not the receiver. Definitely. So therefore, it is by Buddha's own methods during his lifetime that people can make a connection with an enlightened being. What's the best way? Is by making an offering of flowers, offering of rice, precious metals, precious items, whatever that was within the person's capacity and means. They offered in order to make a link and to create the merit on which the teachings can be supported on. And hence, one of the 6 paramitas is giving or generosity. Hence, we make offerings of the 3 jewels every single day. So therefore, in the future, the Buddha predicted that when I am not around, those who make offerings to the images that represent an enlightened being will be equivalent to making to an enlightened being directly. That was from Buddha's own words. And in the future, I will emanate I will appear as your Dharma teachers. Making offerings to your Dharma teachers will be equivalent to making offerings to me. Now that can be misconstrued. Twisted people like me can run around and say that without explanation, and then I can trick people. But that can have two meanings. It can mean that some Dharma teachers actually are enlightened. So making offerings to them automatically creates a lot of merit. There are some teachers that objectively they are not enlightened, but subjectively we are supposed to visualize them as enlightened in order to have a bigger benefit. So objectively, if they're not enlightened and they tell you that making offerings to me is equivalent to making offerings to Buddha, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong. We can make offerings out of appreciation. We can make offerings out of sustenance to take care of our teachers. We can make offerings out of appreciation. We can make offerings as a token of our gratitude. Those are all right motivations for making offerings. But the real reason for making offerings, the real one, is in order that we can create the propensity to receive the Dharma and to achieve the Dharma. That is the real reason we make offerings. And it's done without expectation. A real Dharma master, a real Dharma being, or a Buddha, needless to say, would not expect offerings. They would not be excited about it. They're not looking forward to it. And they would not use or do or enact any of their knowledge for receiving offerings. Never. And they will not see the offerings as praise or gratitude or thanks. They will see it as an object immediately to transform to offer up to the 3 jewels for the giver, for the one who is offered. There's a lot of complex meditation involved in receiving and taking offerings. For example, I am definitely not a qualified being. Definitely not. I am not an object of offering, I would think, in any way. But people do make offerings to me. So what I do immediately is that, so their offerings are not wasted, their effort, going to the store, their money, and all the love and care that they put into their gifts are not wasted. I make sure that I offer it up to the 3 jewels. So what I do is I have a special place on my altar, and I place in front of my altar, I purify it with incense and offer it to the 3 jewels, and I will think about that person. And in certain cases, make more offerings for them in return, because they believe and they trust in me. And I look inside and I know I don't have the qualities to receive those offerings. And on the basis of myself, they receive merits. I know I don't have that. So I need to go one step further. Everything from a picture to a postcard, to dollars, to money, to checks, to flowers, to clothes, anything that's offered to me, I never think it's for me. Everything is offered up to the 3 jewels. And it's on my altar at least for 24 hours. And then I will use it or disperse it or give it away or whatever is necessary. Very, very important. Why? A, from my side, since I am not a qualified object of offering, if I pretend I am, nime chenpo sagres in Tibetan means there's heavy downfalls for me. Heavy downfalls. And I don't need that. But if I get the offerings and I use it for positive purposes, if I use it for my actual sustenance, my real sustenance, actual, then it benefits the giver. Because why? It helps to sustain me to do Dharma work. And if I also direct my excess to others to help, it also benefits the giver. So for me, an offering is an offering. I don't think of it anymore. I think of it as an object, again, to make them have a stronger connection to the Dharma. Sometimes I go to different stores, I go to different places, I meet a nice salesperson. They know nothing of what's going on, nothing. And they simply like me and they want to give me a little extra gift, and they do. So when I get that, I think, oh, it's the only link to Dharma. I hold on to it, I put it in my bag or my pocket, I take it home, and I make sure I remember them, make offerings to the 3 jewels for that person. I may never meet them again, but at least I have something of theirs that they gave me. And I put it in front, and I make an offering so that they have some connection to the Buddhas in the future. And if they give me something like a drink or a food, I always take it. I look at them. I always take it. And when I do that, then I have my own types of meditations to do to accept the food and accept the drink so that they have something. Even if someone comes around and blows something on me, a fan, or they offer me, even when we walk by, they put perfume, I accept it. If I'm not in a rush. And I do my own visualizations, I let them offer it. And I think it's offered to one of the visualized deities. And I make a connection for them. It may be subtle and small, but it's better than saying, oh, it's for me, give me. All day it's me. It's much better than that. Creates awareness. It benefits them. Even the benefit is that small, but you see it piles up. Why? Because when you keep thinking like that and keep developing like that, you develop a mind that actually can benefit people. And you develop a type of being that actually, when they make offerings to you, you are a proper object of offering. A proper object of offering, a person who does not need to make any prayers in return. Any prayers in return is a Buddha or a Bodhisattva. A Buddha or a Bodhisattva does not need to make any prayers in return. Their being automatically generates merit. Anything you do positive towards them. Anything. A fully ordained monk or an arhat. A fully ordained monk or an arhat. When you make offerings to them, and the monk who keeps their vows, then when they receive the offerings from you, you automatically collect merit. But from the side of the recipient, they must do dedications and prayers back, because it's equivalent to swallowing hot lava. So anyone below that, which includes us, we have to be very careful with people's offerings. People's money, people's help. We have to be very careful. Why? There are karmic repercussions. You may enjoy for a few years the glory. People give you this, give you that. It's wonderful. You have to be very careful. That's why when I get expensive offerings, and sometimes I get very expensive offerings, very, very precious expensive offerings, I never, ever think it's mine. Never. I immediately, in my mind, or I do a puja, I offer it up to Ganden Monastery. Then I think I'm in this country, I will use these items to represent Ganden Monastery. How? Well, if you do your practice well, you get good things, the end. Simple as that. I don't need to think any deeper. And I take care of those things, I cover those things, I wash those things, and I make sure those things are taken well, and I scream at the people taking care of them if they don't take it well, because it does not belong to me, it belongs to Ganden, and I must take care of it. And that's my attitude. So if I get very expensive and big things that I use, I do use. I do. I don't have an attitude that it's mine, and therefore I take care of it very well. If it's mine, I don't care. I throw it here and there. No offense, this kind of bag, I just throw it here and there. Not because it's worthless or a value, it's mine. It's mine. But if someone offers me something really is precious, or it took a lot, or it's from their heart, or even simple things, if they offer me, I don't accept it as mine. I take a lot of care with it, or I keep it and I offer it to one of my high lamas later on. I don't tell people. Or I put it on the stupa, or I put it on the mandala, or I offer it up to the altar in Ganden. Always. I don't tell people because there's too many things. Why? How can I be so presumptuous to think that I am an object of offering in itself? I cannot. But since I have to play that role, all right, let me take the extra step to protect myself and to ensure that the offerer also gets merits back. So therefore, people open up Dharma stores and offer it to me. I don't think it's mine. I don't think it's mine. I take care of it, I maintain it, and I push people to help me to take care of it. Why? I believe it belongs to the center, which belongs to Ganden. So when I ask people to take care of the center, when I ask people to take care of the outlets, when I have them do certain responsibilities and work, they should think the same thing, that they are serving the monks in Ganden. How are they serving the monks in Ganden when they take care of the outlets? Very simple. They're spreading the Dharma. They're letting the knowledge of Ganden go all over the city. So if anybody can be involved in the outlets and make it work and make it well and make it do well and make it sell and make it be successful, you are serving Ganden. Very simple. Because what are we selling in there? What are we selling in there? What are we having available? Ganden, Dharma, Tsongkhapa. Very simple. So some people think, oh, how can I help? If your skills is in retail, help in retail. If your skills in secretarial, help in secretarial. Don't wait till someone asks you. You help, you offer. Why? That's what you can do at this time. It doesn't belong to me. None of it belongs to me. I dare not think that. So I receive it from the sponsors or people who offer me the keys and whatever, the deeds and all the paperwork. Very humbly and beautifully, I offer it to my 3 jewels. I accept it on behalf of Ganden. And I take care of it and I maintain it. Nothing belongs to me. If I was to pack up my things and disappear, I have very few things that I'm attached to. I have very few things, full stop. Mostly it's Dharma items, statues and stuff. Very few. And recently I've offered some of my statues away, big ones. So I have very little things, and I'm very comfortable with that. I have no worries. If I need to have a big house, I need to put things in, I need to maintain, it is for the public, it's for people to come in, and so they have a feeling, oh, it's a Tibetan Lama, they're meeting, it should be like that. It's for their own views, it makes them comfortable. For me, it doesn't make a difference. Why doesn't it make a difference? I'm not materialistic. But I keep materialistic things. It helps us subdue people with materialistic attitudes. Very simple. So sometimes I have to look materialistic, act materialistic, and have things that make me look like I'm materialistic. And I play along with it and let them think whatever they like in order to subdue materialistic people so they can come onto the Dharma. So, sometimes I have to look fancy smancy, carry fancy smancy bags. I hate it though. I do it. Many reasons. I'm not a saint, but I'm trying to be. I'm not telling you all this, oh wow, I'm so fabulous. No, I'm trying to be. So trying and being is different. If I keep trying, one day I will be. Because I'm trying to be even better. I'm trying to be a Buddha, remember? One day I'd like to appear in front of you as, I don't know, in the form of Chakra Samvara, or in the form of or Hiruka or something in front of you. And if you can't see that I've appeared in that, it's your own bad karma. Nice tricks, isn't it? You're like, it's not going to work. I know it's not going to work because you guys, I can see through my motivation, so can you. Doesn't work. Be very honest with people about spiritual practice. Be very honest. If you don't know something, you're honest about it, it's better than not knowing and making it up because they'll know immediately. Be very honest. If you want to be a Dharma teacher, you want to tread the Dharma path or write or teach or speak anything about Dharma, it starts with yourself and it starts this moment. You have to cultivate basic human qualities. Basic. Then it'll be very effective.